Welcome to IndiaToday.in. Thanks for talking to us. How is the IPL fever? As in, how are you enjoying the first set of matches?
Hi, Akshay. Yeah, started off good with the first win. Looking forward to the El Clasico was good. Looking forward to the RCB game now.
RCB game. How about
Yeah,
you, Rahul? Sujit?
yeah. For a change, we won the first game and
Yeah.
in a dominant fashion. So gives us a lot of confidence going into the CSK game for sure.
Hmm. Yeah,
And looking at the team composition itself, team looks good this year. So really, really confident about how things will shape up this year for us.
great. And the crowds have been wonderful.
Yeah.
Fans like you and me have kind of, filled the stadiums and made it a carnival that we all expected it to be, right? Talking about, before we head into serious business, I just want to talk about this, 18 years of IPL. I just want to ask you both, what were you doing a week before the first IPL began? Like, were you really excited? How did you, take to this concept of IPL at that time? Because all we used to see was international cricket. We
Right.
used to
Right.
see Ricky Ponting go ahead against Saurav Ganguly. We used to see MS Dhoni taking on Adam Gilchrist or Matthew Hayden. But when they all came together, how was that feeling? What did you expect from IPL at that time?
Uh, to start off with, I was still back in school at that point of time. To start off with, it was a very strange idea to even imagine Zahir
Hmm.
Khan bowling to Dada and trying
Dada.
to get him out. It was very difficult for me to digest.
Hmm.
Uh, being from that generation, Matthew Hayden and Adam Gilchrist used to be our nightmares in the night, and
Yeah.
we never thought I would cheer for them to get big runs. And then they came to see Hayden was in CSK.
Yeah.
Mutaya Muralidharan came, everybody else joined in. So in the start, it was strange, but somehow then because we had seen football being a franchise-dominated sport, we
Yeah.
thought, yes, that is the future, and that's how we started to follow IPL from my end.
Great.
Yeah.
What about you, Sujit?
I mean, the same thing. I think I was in seventh standard when IPL started off. So it was a very new thing. We had just come afresh from winning a T20 World Cup in 2007, right? So it was T20 was kicking out here in India.
Hmm.
I honestly did not know what to expect from the IPL because it was a new concept for all of us, right? So, I mean, looking at the team composition, looking at the players that RCB bought back in the day, they were stalwarts. They were
Yeah.
stalwarts in the different format of the game. But then the first game really, got us to reality with the KKR game. Like Brendan McCullum went berserk against us. So that was a great start to the IPL, not for RCB, but I think it laid a foundation for us to see what things might come going ahead. And looking at 18 years now, it's come a long way. Now
Yeah.
we are not happy with 250. That's the state of T20 cricket at this point. So yeah, it's been an amazing journey so far with the IPL.
Great. And any of you predicted that IPL would become this big? It's not just the biggest cricket league in the world, but it's among the top five sports league in the world in terms of broadcast revenue, in terms of following and all that. Did any of you even have the wildest imagination that IPL would get to here in, say, 16, 18 years?
I don't think even BCCI thought of it will become so big.
Yeah.
Gradually, the game picked up. T20, as Sujit rightly said, 2007 was a big vector for T20 to become big in India. IPL picked up with BCCI becoming a dominating force in world cricket, and everyone else from being England cricketers also initially reluctant to join, and everybody else then decided that IPL is the place to be. We reached here, but it has been a great journey.
Great. One thing I remember from the first season of IPL, I think I was in class 9 or something. I asked my father, I pressurized him to get a set-top box for me. At that time there was only cable TV, I think. They're
Correct.
slowly moving to set-top box.
Right.
And the Set Max only used to come in set-top box at that time. So
Right.
I think 2 days before the IPL started, I sat outside the set-top box. I think it was Tata or something. I sat outside the set-top box shop and forced them to get it done on the very same day. At that time, these installation also used to take time. They'll be like, okay, I'll
Yeah.
come and set up the dish, but it'll
Right.
take 2 more days. But I
Yeah.
didn't want to miss the matches. Sujit, Rahul, I just wanted to ask you, did you guys support CSK and RCB from the first edition? Or how has the fandom changed, evolved over the
No,
years?
I think it has been RCB since day one.
Great.
So it's been 18 years again for me as well as a
Hmm.
fan supporting this franchisee. We've gone through a lot of ups and downs. But I think what one thing stands out for us is the loyalty to the team itself,
Yeah.
to the city that we stay
Yeah.
in. For us, I think most of the fans here in RCB, it's probably not the players, but the franchisee itself. So we've been very supportive, hoping to lift that trophy one day, very very soon.
What about you, Rahul?
Yeah, my version is little different. Being from Jammu and Kashmir with no cricketing team or any lines, the day MS was signed in, I knew where I had to go, where my loyalty resides. So, 18 years again, yes. It started with MS for sure, but over the years, when I started traveling to Chennai from Jammu, interacted with people around here, with team members, other players coming in, the yellow color has grown now. So it is more about a team now. MS, obviously, yes, but the team stands afar. Yeah.
Okay, I'm a bit like Rohit here. I'm forgetting things. I shouldn't have. I should have asked you to introduce yourselves. As in, can you just tell me a little bit about yourselves and how you started watching cricket and how it all became a passion for you guys?
Right. So I'm actually from Jammu and Kashmir. I reside in Jammu. There is no one specific incident I can tell you when I started watching cricket. Cricket is a religion to all of us. When we started watching TV, I think that was the first game my father introduced me to. He was a big fan of Gavaskar and Krishnacharya Srikanth, so that lineage started. Everybody from my family was a cricket fan. I do still remember the first six scored by MS. Back then, I told my father that there's some strange guy with long hairs and he's playing cricket and hitting
Yeah.
sixes. It started from there, 2008 CB series in Australia and everything. That ignited the fandom in me for him. And then came the IPL and T20 World Cup wins that obviously made it a pivotal impact on my life.
Sujit, what about you?
For me, I can clearly remember when I started watching cricket. I think it was the
That's
2003 Australian tour, when I used to wake up 5:30 in the morning just to look at some of our Indian greats. And then I started playing cricket myself personally. So the interest and the passion for the game just took off from there.
great.
And the 2003 World Cup was the icing on the cake. But I know it was disappointing in the final. But then that was a great run again, just like 2023. It was a great run for us. So that's where I started watching cricket, and I've never looked back from there.
Great. Are you from Bangalore? Are you Bangalore blood?
Yes, I am. I'm from Bangalore, born and brought up in Bangalore sub.
Great. So, when we talk about 18, there is another 18 also, which is very significant. It's Virat Kohli, right? So, I just want to ask both your perspectives. One team over the last 18 years, do you think it's something that's probably will not be repeatable by any other player in the future?
Dude, the stature of Virat Kohli, whatever we say when we talk about teams and rivalry and everything, the stature of Virat Kohli in Indian cricket and in IPL is unmatched. The way he has played, scoring multiple centuries in the season, being captain, non-being captain, and still taking the responsibilities, playing at as an opener or even at number three.
Yeah.
He is one of the best around there. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Sujit, for you?
For me, I think I don't think this will be replicated because how dynamic the auction process has gotten recently, how desperate the teams were. They've become more result oriented than being patient with the player. I think that plays a very important role. I don't really see anyone getting 18 years in a franchisee unless there's another Virat Kohli that is coming up in Indian cricket, right? So I don't really personally see that, but the changes of the game, how the game's going, I don't think there will be another 18-year player here in IPL.
Great. If there was one franchise that Sujit you would have wanted Virat to go, as in like not keep your RCB love away. Just think that probably if he was supposed to go to one franchise, what would that franchise be? Where would you love to see him apart from RCB?
I think it would probably be Delhi because he's from Delhi. I think he would have loved to be there as well, if not for RCB. I think in the first auction, Delhi bid for Pradeep Sangwan rather than Virat Kohli. So I think his heart would have been in Delhi back in the day because he's from Delhi. But I think that's the only team I see him. I cannot digest him seeing in any other team apart from Delhi for sure. Being an RCB fan, I'm so glad that he's playing for us.
That brings me to this question, Rahul. How would it be for a Tala and King reunion in CSK? Probably. Would you want to have it?
Absolutely, why not? He's the best around here. We always had a tradition of great openers. He will be a good fit, I guess, and even get a trophy, I guess.
But that would be like, playing for Barcelona and then going to Real Madrid and
No.
Yeah,
playing.
that's not happening.
That's, yeah, yeah. But talking about Tala, as in like Sujit, how as in like we all know the rivalry between CSK and RCB. But whenever Tala comes to Bangalore, there is a different kind of respect, right? He
Absolutely.
is loved by probably every Bangalore fan also, right? How
Yeah,
does
yeah.
that emotion work? Like when he hits those sixes, to break your hearts. How does it feel? Do you feel good? Of how is the bittersweet feeling?
I mean, first of all, keeping the rivalry aside itself, Dhoni has been the crown jewel of Indian cricket for the last 15, 16 years. Like, he's done everything that an Indian player we expect them to do. So when he comes here in Bangalore, it's a treat for our eyes because we don't often see Dhoni play.
Yeah,
Since he's just been in IPL, for us also, it's a great feeling to see him play because I don't know how long he's going to go from here. So every year that he comes to Bangalore to play, we believe that this is might be the last time that we're looking at him. uh, that's the feeling. So I mean, I know sometimes, I mean, his favorite hunting ground, Chinnaswamy, he hits sixes for fun here. But then when the situation is tight, we really want him to get out as well because for us, team comes
yeah,
first. But I don't mind seeing a couple of hits going out of the park from MS Dhoni, just like last year.
great. Rahul, you spoke about your father being a Sunil Gavaskar and Srikanth, Krishnamachari
Right.
Srikanth fan.
Yeah.
So you probably had that Chennai connect from there only.
There.
The
Yes.
original OG Thala of Tamil Nadu cricket.
Yeah.
How,
Yes.
how did your love for MS begin?
Uh, to be very frank, it was only on one thing it started that a small town guy can make it big. I was from Jammu. I for my engineering and for my studies, I shifted to Mumbai in between, and it was surreal in the start to be from a small city and then get going in a big city. MS actually paved the way. I think many commentators, Harsha Bogle as well, has said it in the past that he was one of the vectors of changing India, of telling India that even if you're from a small city, there can be a situation where you can make it big in the bigger city. So yeah,
That's
that's what I
lovely.
think.
That's lovely. We all see cricket, we all see the fandom and all that, but it can sometimes touch personal lives as well, right? I think I saw D. Gukesh, the chess world champion, speaking to Chennai
Yeah.
Super Kings YouTube channel, and we all think that okay, it's fans and all that, but he was very very beautifully explained how it made an impact on his game, like how he remained calm throughout. When there is pressure, he kind of you know he kind of remembers MS Dhoni. He kind of visualizes how MS would have handled such stuff. Sujit, is
Right.
there such a personal connection with Virat Kohli for you?
Of I would say because for me personally, when Virat Kohli was young and he was upcoming, he was aggressive, and we all know that. Personally, to be very so self-critical about myself, I am very short-tempered myself. So
Okay,
sometimes I could connect with him
yeah,
to see why certain reactions are coming out of him, and so that is the connect that I saw, and the player that has gone on to become, and how he has evolved himself as a player personally as well in
yeah,
life. I
yeah.
think he's become more calm now. He's become more composed. I think that's a learning for all of us that probably young blood can have aggression, but I think as you mature, I think life has better options for you, and you might have to like just tone down a little bit.
Of course, the controlled aggression that we are seeing these days is
Yeah,
more, rewarding from a guy who kind of went to pick fights with people. He has become the mentor figure now, as in seeing
yeah,
him chat to youngsters after IPL matches with that famous background music from Star running. That's a great thing to watch.
yeah, yeah.
Coming down to this match, Sujit, CSK, RCB, both are heading into the game with a win. How do you think that do you think RCB can do well in that pitch in Chennai, which probably stands out from the other pitches in the season?
Yeah,
Like every pitch has been 200, 220 written on it, but Chennai probably 160, 170, 180 could be a difficult total.
yeah, that's a tricky one because I know Krunal Pandya performed well in the first game. We had Suresh with a very important wicket, but I think spinners are going to, be the key in Chepauk as usual. I believe that we do have the spin attack uh, where we can trouble some of the players because we have Livingston who can bowl both leg and off spin
Yeah,
depending on what batsman So I think we have the spin attack. I think what is going to be more important for us is Bhuvneshwar coming back. I think that is going to bolster our bowling attack, even more. And with the batsmen, I think we have Rajat, who can, play spin well, and Chennai is known for having brilliant spinners. Now they have Ashwin as well, adding to that list. So I think it's going to be a great competition between this RCB batsmen and CSK spinners. But I think at the end of the day, all boils down to what happened last year here in Chinnaswamy, right? So
Yeah.
that is going to be playing in all of our minds. I think it's more on CSK side that they really want to get back at us and get one over us after what happened last year.
Yeah, I completely forgot that. As in, like, will that be spoken about in the stands? As in, are you traveling?
Absolutely. Yeah, I am traveling to the game. Yes. So I think that is going to be spoken a lot because the nature of the comeback. I think it's one of the better comebacks that we've seen in cricket history, because we were down and out last season. We had absolutely no chance of qualifying for the playoffs, and we made it up, beating CSK in that crucial game. I think that rivalry and us qualifying along with it made it even bigger. So this year, the hype around the game is just a little bit more than usual.
And what do you make of Rajat's captaincy? As in early impressions, right? But he looked calm and he made the right moves, giving those spinners the extra overs in the end. And and one more thing I wanted to talk to you, as in, like, you haven't spoken about Hoff. He is gonna be a huge factor in Chennai, right? He has played there, Hazelwood. So I think these two things, Rajat's captaincy and Hazelwood's impact.
Yeah, I mean, Rajat's captaincy, like you said, it's too early. But one thing that I noticed, I don't know if you noticed as well, I think he got in a short leg right after a wicket. I think that shows that he is aggressive in his mind and probably not from his nature, but to get Suyash back, to get Andy Russell out, I think that speaks of the vision that he has for the team, back the players. I think that is more important for the captaincy. I think if these are the attributes that we're seeing in the first game, I really feel that he's going to be a really successful captain for RCB. And coming to Josh Hazelwood, he is a silent assassin. I mean, he always goes under the carpet. Like, his performances never get speaked of, but he does the job. He does the job for the team. He hits that length, day in and day out. Like, batsmen have very less shots against that line and length. So he's going to be really important. But I think the support that he's going to get from the other fast bowlers will define our season for this year.
And what about Virat? The way he took on spinners in that game in Eden, that should have given a lot of confidence, right? The guy keeps evolving every season. As in, we don't speak about that often. We just say that, okay, he's gifted, he has that fitness and all that. But look at the way he has evolved with the skills that he has brought into his game. Champions Trophy was a completely different meal, but now with the IPL, those slog sweeps, which we seldom see him playing, he's kind of employing that more and more these days.
We saw that a bit last year, didn't we? With the slog sweeps and taking out the spinners. I was looking at some stats early this morning. 2023 he had strike rate of 111 against the spinners, and 2024 it's moved up to 137, which shows that even being successful as he is, he wants to improve. He knows where he's lacking in his game with the changes of T20 cricket that we've seen in the past couple of years. So it's a lesson for all the youngsters as well, that irrespective of how good you are, you need to adapt to the changes in the game, and that will keep you performing. Otherwise, you wouldn't survive at the highest level for 18 years.
Greats keep saying, right? You should always be a student of the game. When you think you have known it all, then you stop learning and then you stop evolving.
Absolutely.
That's a great thing. But how has it been, the experience of watching matches? Yes, of course, you travel to a lot of venues and watch the matches. But Jio Hotstar, how has it been for this season? How has the experience been?
I think Jio Hotstar, one thing is, just like how IPL is evolving, I think JioStar and Jio Hotstar are evolving with their broadcasting quality, because, like you said, when we started in 2008, right? So we had like set max, and it was just one cam. Like, we used to watch. Today, you see there is a player cam. There is so many different technologies evolving with the game. It's been a great experience watching at home as well, because the viewing experience has just gone atop one notch up higher. And with Jio Hotstar, it makes me travel as well, because I mean, you cannot like really sit at home when you have very important work. So on the go, Jio Hotstar has been really helpful. Again, I don't see a lot of difference in the quality of viewership, be it TV or the phone. It's just the screens are small when you travel. That's the only thing. But the quality has been top notch. It gets the viewers very close to the action in the middle. So I think it's really been that BCCI has been really thought about the fans and put in the broadcasting things inside.
And Sujit, do you watch the commentary in local languages sometimes? Do you switch to Kannada?
I do sometimes, not to Kannada but to Hindi sometimes, but I think it's more on English because I kind of connect with different perspectives, because when you go locally, it's more of an Indian perspective to the game.
Yeah.
So when it's English, it's more global. You understand different perspectives of why a player is going a certain way. So I think that is what I prefer personally, but nothing to take away from the local commentators. They're doing an amazing job. But for me personally, I think it's always been English.
Great. And how about the bold versus gold comparison? For the CSK versus RCB, who do you think will be the gold, and whom can we expect the bold youngster to step up?
From RCB, the bold youngsters to step up. Well, that's an interesting question. Who
Yeah.
would I pick? I think that's really good question.
Virat.
I would
Relatively, we are talking 43 and 36. Virat is a yeah.
I mean, Virat is going to be crucial for us in every game. I really want us this year to be, playing as a team. Probably this year again. I'll probably go with Rajat again, being the captain. I know he's 30s, but relatively young in experience, young captaincy as well. So I want to see how he's going to react to that additional responsibility of being the captain of the team. So that is going to be something that I'm going to watch out for this season. From the CSK standpoint, I think it's Rachin. He's just gone one level up, I think.
Okay. Are you saying this because he has a Bangalore connect?
No, not really. Not really. I think a couple of days ago, Michael Vaughan was saying that Harry Brook needs to really top up his game because Rachin's gone to another level. I think that speaks volume of what people think of him. You don't often really see Michael Vaughan praising players outside of England. To see that, I think Rachin's doing something good. And especially with all that pressure the other day to finish off with the six, even with Dhoni on the other side, he just wants to win games for his team and nothing else. So I think that's a great quality in him.
Great. And what's your prediction for CS? As in, what's your prediction for the two teams? Do you think both of them will make the playoffs, or one of them will make it, or both of them probably not making the playoffs this time?
It's tricky because when you see some teams going 280s and 290s, you think, are we doing the right thing with, we're playing 180s and 200s when you look at Sunrisers. But
there's always more than one way to skin a cat, right? Like we have seen
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's going to be the key. I believe we have the team this year. I think RCB is going to make it. I also believe Chennai is going to do it because they've done it year in and year out, right? So they know how to reach the playoffs. So I think both of these teams will make it to the playoffs, if not for one.
Great. Rahul, who has probably dropped off the call, will be very happy listening to this, that you have given CSK the chit to go to the playoffs. But it's been great talking to both of you. Thank you for giving us your time, and I hope you enjoy the IPL season. And I also just want to say, you can watch all the coverage on Jio Hotstar, but you can read about it and you can listen to more views about it on indiatoday.in. If you have the time, please do check it out. We have a special page running. You can check it out there, and it'll be worth your time. Thank you so much for joining us, and let us all enjoy the IPL festival on Jio Hotstar and every other platform that is coming on. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.